Welcome to Marcus Aurelius's 12 Rules for Life, a Stoic's Guide to Inner Peace. In this video we will decode the Stoic philosopher's most powerful and enduring teachings, designed to help you navigate the challenges of life and find inner peace and tranquility. Marcus Aurelius was a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, in 161 to 180 AD. He wrote Meditations, a series of personal writings, in which his wisdom has stood the test of time and continues to resonate with readers today. In this video, you will find practical advice and profound insights that will help you to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. As you watch this video, you will discover that Marcus Aurelius's teachings are not just ancient wisdom, they are timeless and universal truths that will help you to find inner peace and tranquility, whatever your circumstances may be. With this guide, you will be equipped to face the chaos of life with courage, wisdom, and grace. So, let's get started and dive into the first rule of Marcus Aurelius's 12 Rules for Life. Rule number 1, cultivate a strong sense of self-awareness and self-discipline. Let men see, let them know a real man who lives as he was meant to live. Self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth and development. It allows us to understand our strengths and weaknesses, and to make conscious choices about how we want to live our lives. By cultivating self-awareness, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. Self-discipline is the ability to control our impulses and direct our energy towards achieving our goals. It is an essential tool for personal growth and development, and is closely connected to self-awareness. By developing self-discipline, we can overcome our weaknesses and achieve our goals. The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. Self-awareness and self-discipline are closely linked. By cultivating self-awareness, we can understand our weaknesses and develop the self-discipline necessary to overcome them. By developing self-discipline, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. Together, self-awareness and self-discipline form the foundation of personal growth and development. If any man despises me, that is his problem. My only concern is not doing or saying anything deserving of contempt. Self-awareness and self-discipline also allow us to rise above negative influences and to take control of our own lives. Instead of seeking revenge or dwelling on negative experiences, we can choose to focus on our own growth and development. By cultivating self-awareness and self-discipline, we can become the best version of ourselves and live a fulfilling and meaningful life. Rule number 2, embrace and accept the impermanence of life. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is the acceptance of the impermanence of life. We must recognize that everything in life is temporary, including our own existence. This understanding can help us to appreciate the present moment, and to make the most of the time we have. The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it. Embracing the impermanence of life also means accepting that change is an inevitable part of life and that we must learn to adapt and evolve with it. We must learn to be flexible and to let go of our attachment to things that will inevitably change or be lost. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Accepting the impermanence of life can also help us to overcome the fear of death. We must remember that death is a natural part of life, and that the time we have is limited. This realization can help us to focus on living a meaningful and fulfilling life, rather than fearing death. The whole future lies in uncertainty, live immediately. Embracing the impermanence of life also means that we should not waste time on worrying about the future, or ruminating on the past, but focus on living in the present moment, and make the most out of it. By accepting the impermanence of life, we can find peace and contentment in the present and make the most of the time we have. Rule number 3, cultivate a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the present moment. Very little is needed to make a happy life, it is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is to cultivate a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the present moment. By focusing on the things we have, rather than the things we lack, we can find happiness and contentment in our lives. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Cultivating gratitude also means taking action and being grateful for the opportunity to improve oneself and to do good in the world. To live a fulfilling life, one must strive to be the best version of oneself and make a positive impact in the world. Be content to seem what you really are. Cultivating gratitude also means being content with who you are, your abilities and your limitations. Accepting yourself for who you are and not comparing yourself to others, is the key to finding inner peace and happiness. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. By cultivating a sense of gratitude, we can appreciate the simple pleasures and beauty of life, such as the ability to breathe, think, enjoy and love. This perspective can help us to find joy and contentment in the present moment, and to live a more fulfilling life. Rule number 4, practice Stoicism in the face of adversity and hardship. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is to practice Stoicism in the face of adversity and hardship. This means accepting that difficult situations and challenges are an inevitable part of life and that we must learn to deal with them in a calm and rational manner. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Practicing Stoicism also means rising above negative influences and taking control of our own lives, instead of seeking revenge or dwelling on negative experiences. The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it. Practicing Stoicism also means accepting that change is an inevitable part of life, and that we must learn to adapt and evolve with it. We must learn to be flexible and to let go of our attachment to things that will inevitably change or be lost. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Practicing Stoicism also means recognizing that our thoughts and emotions have a powerful influence over our lives, and that we have the power to control them. By practicing Stoicism, we can maintain inner peace and equanimity, even in the face of adversity and hardship. Rule number 5, cultivate a sense of equanimity and inner peace. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, therefore, guard accordingly. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is to cultivate a sense of equanimity and inner peace. This means maintaining a calm and balanced state of mind, even in the face of adversity and hardship. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Cultivating equanimity also means learning to respond to difficult situations in a calm and rational manner, rather than getting caught up in emotions and reactivity. The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable. Cultivating equanimity also means not worrying about the future or dwelling on the past, but focusing on living in the present moment. This perspective can help us to find peace and contentment in the present, and to live a more fulfilling life. If thou art pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs thee, but thy own judgment about it. And it is in thy power to wipe out this judgment now. Cultivating equanimity also means recognizing that our thoughts and emotions have a powerful influence over our lives, and that we have the power to control them. By cultivating equanimity, we can maintain inner peace and balance, even in the face of adversity and hardship. Rule number 6, practice virtue and ethical behavior. Every living organism is fulfilled when it follows the right path for its own nature. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is to practice virtue and ethical behavior. This means striving to live a virtuous and moral life, in accordance with reason and nature. Live out your life in truth and justice, tolerant of those who are neither true nor just. Practicing virtue and ethical behavior also means rising above negative influences and taking control of our own lives, instead of seeking revenge or dwelling on negative experiences. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Practicing virtue and ethical behavior also means being true to oneself and living in accordance with one's own values and beliefs, rather than trying to conform to the expectations of others. The happiness and unhappiness of the rational, social animal depends not on what he feels but on what he does, just as his virtue and vice consist not in feeling but in doing. Practicing virtue and ethical behavior also means living a meaningful and fulfilling life, by making a positive impact in the world and striving to be the best version of oneself. By living a virtuous and ethical life, we can find inner peace and fulfillment, and leave a positive legacy for future generations. Rule number 7, seek wisdom through self-reflection and study. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is to seek wisdom through self-reflection and study. This means committing to a lifelong process of learning and self-improvement, in order to gain a deeper understanding of oneself and the world. Nothing has such power to broaden the mind as the ability to investigate systematically and truly all that comes under thy observation in life. Seeking wisdom through self-reflection and study also means being open-minded and receptive to new ideas and perspectives, and being willing to change one's own beliefs and opinions when presented with new evidence or understanding. Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness, all of them due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil. Seeking wisdom through self-reflection and study also means rising above negative influences and taking control of one's own life, rather than seeking revenge or dwelling on negative experiences. If thou art pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs thee, but thy own judgment about it. And it is in thy power to wipe out this judgment now. Seeking wisdom through self-reflection and study also means recognizing that our thoughts and emotions have a powerful influence over our lives, and that we have the power to control them. By seeking wisdom, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world and can find inner peace and fulfillment. Rule number 8, cultivate compassion and empathy. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is to cultivate compassion and empathy. This means treating others with kindness, understanding and respect, and recognizing that everyone is facing their own struggles and challenges in life. If any man despises me, that is his problem. My only concern is not doing or saying anything deserving of contempt. Cultivating compassion and empathy also means rising above negative influences and taking control of our own lives, instead of seeking revenge or dwelling on negative experiences. Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? Before criticizing or finding fault with someone else, one should first reflect on their own faults and consider how they may be similar to the fault they are about to point out in someone else. It is a reminder to practice self-awareness and humility. As an antidote to battle unkindness, we were given kindness. By making a positive impact in the world and striving to be the best version of oneself. By living a compassionate and empathetic life, we can find inner peace and fulfillment, and leave a positive legacy for future generations. Rule number 9, practice self-control and self-discipline. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is to practice self-control and self-discipline. This means taking responsibility for one's own actions, thoughts and emotions, and having the willpower to direct them towards virtuous and ethical behavior. When force of circumstance upsets your equanimity, lose no time in recovering your self-control, and do not remain out of tune longer than you can help. Practicing self-control and self-discipline also means recognizing that these qualities take time and effort to develop, and that it is important to be patient and persistent in working on them. It also means being aware of and willing to confront one's own weaknesses and limitations, and making a consistent effort to improve oneself. The only thing that isn't worthless, to live this life out truthfully and rightly. And be patient with those who don't. Living a truthful and righteous life with self-control and self-discipline is the only thing of value. It is important to strive for inner integrity and to control our own actions and reactions, and to be patient and understanding towards others who may not have the same level of self-discipline and self-control. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Practicing self-control and self-discipline also means maintaining a clear and rational mind, and being able to see things for what they truly are, rather than being swayed by emotions and biases. It also means being able to control our impulses and emotions, and act in a rational and virtuous way. Rule number 10, embrace change and uncertainty. Everything that exists is in a manner the seed of that which will be. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is to embrace change and uncertainty. This means accepting that change is a natural and inevitable part of life, and that everything is constantly in flux. Frightened of change. But what can exist without it? What's closer to nature's heart? Can any vital process take place without something being changed? Embracing change and uncertainty also means being open-minded and receptive to new ideas and perspectives, and being willing to change one's own beliefs and opinions when presented with new evidence or understanding. Observe constantly that all things take place by change, and accustom thyself to consider that the nature of the universe loves nothing so much as to change the things which are, and to make new things like them. Embracing change and uncertainty also means living a meaningful and fulfilling life, by making a positive impact in the world and striving to be the best version of oneself. By embracing change and uncertainty, we can find our inner peace, and find fulfillment. Keep constantly in mind in how many things you yourself have witnessed changes already. The universe is change, life is understanding. We must keep in mind that change is a constant in the universe, and in our lives, and that understanding and accepting this reality is key to living a fulfilling life. By recognizing that everything is constantly changing, it encourages us to embrace change and uncertainty as a natural part of life. We should do our best to be open to the possibility of new experiences and opportunities that come with change, and to develop the ability to adapt to the changing situations. Rule number 11, cultivate a sense of humility and avoid hubris. Do not waste the remainder of thy life in thoughts about others, when thou dost not refer thy thoughts to some object of common utility. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is to cultivate a sense of humility and avoid hubris. This means recognizing one's own limitations, and being humble and modest in one's actions and words. It also means recognizing that we are not the center of the universe, and avoiding the trap of thinking that we are better or more important than others. We ought to do good to others as simply as a horse runs, or a bee makes honey, or a vine bears grapes, season after season, without thinking of the grapes it has borne. Cultivating humility also means taking responsibility for one's own actions, thoughts and emotions, and having the willpower to direct them towards virtuous and ethical behavior. It also means putting others' needs before our own, and being mindful of the impact of our actions on others. If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth, by which no one ever was truly harmed. Harmed is the person who continues in his self-deception and ignorance. Embracing truth and being open to learning and changing one's perspective can help one grow and improve, while holding on to false beliefs and refusing to acknowledge one's mistakes can be harmful. Being open to criticism, and being willing to change can lead to personal growth and self-improvement. Cultivating humility and avoiding hubris also means not being arrogant or conceited, and being able to acknowledge when we are wrong and to learn from our mistakes. Pride is a master of deception. When you think you're occupied in the weightiest business, that's when he has you in his spell. Cultivating humility and avoiding hubris also means acknowledging and learning from one's mistakes and failures, being open to constructive criticism and feedback, and recognizing that there is always more to learn and that one's knowledge and abilities are not fixed. It also means being aware of one's own limitations and being willing to admit when one is wrong or does not know something. Cultivating humility also implies being willing to put aside one's own ego and pride in order to learn, grow and work together with others. It also means showing respect and empathy for others, recognizing that everyone has valuable insights and perspectives to offer. Rule number 12, strive for a clear sense of purpose and live in harmony with reason and nature. A man's true greatness lies in the consciousness of an honest purpose in life, founded on a just estimate of himself and everything else, on frequent self-examinations, and a steady obedience to the rule which he knows to be right. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is to have a clear sense of what one wants to achieve in life and work towards it with determination and focus. This means having a purpose that guides your actions and decisions, and always striving to better oneself. It also means using reason and logic to guide one's actions and striving to live in harmony with the natural world. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Having a clear sense of purpose and living in harmony with reason and nature also means recognizing that everything is constantly in flux and that life is fleeting. This realization should motivate us to live in the present and make the most of the time we have. For there is a single harmony. Just as the world forms a single body comprising all bodies, so fate forms a single purpose, comprising all purposes. Having a clear sense of purpose and living in harmony with reason and nature also means living a meaningful and fulfilling life, by making a positive impact in the world and striving to be the best version of oneself. By having a clear sense of purpose and living in harmony with reason and nature, we can find inner peace and fulfillment. Without a purpose, nothing should be done. Having a clear sense of purpose and living in harmony with reason and nature also means recognizing the importance of finding purpose in life. It is the sense of purpose that gives our life meaning and direction. It is what drives us to achieve our goals, to make a positive impact in the world and to strive to be the best version of ourselves. Without purpose, life can feel aimless and unfulfilling. But by finding our purpose and aligning our actions with it, we can find inner peace and fulfillment, and leave a positive legacy for future generations. It is through having a sense of purpose that we can truly live our lives to the fullest. Thank you for watching. We hope you found this video to be informative and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos decoding the wisdom behind the quotes of great philosophers, subscribe and hit the notification bell to see our newest content.